Hello everyone. Today I am here with a new subject, thermal science, and in this presentation I will be discussing about the steady flow energy equation. Okay. So the topic which I will be covering in this slides are steady flow energy equation and throttling process. So what is steady flow energy equation? Steady state. First of all, let us understand what is steady state. Steady state, a number of thermodynamic devices such as pump, fan, compressor, turbine, nozzle, diffuser and heaters operate with one entrance and one exit. Okay, though the steady state or the steady flow conversion of mass of first of thermodynamics for this system reduces to Q minus W is equal to mHe plus V by 2 ZZD minus mHi plus Vi square by 2 plus ZZ1. Okay. Here since summation of Me is equal to summation of Mi, so Qi minus Wy is equal to m theta h2 minus h1 plus v2 square minus v1 square by 2 plus z2 minus z1. We are equating the above equation and using subscript 1 and subscript 2 for denoting inlet and exit state. Q minus W is equal to h2 minus h1 v2 square minus v1 square plus z2 minus z1. We have divided the both side by then this equation becomes Q is equal to del H plus del V square by 2 ZZ plus W. Okay. So solving the steady state flow energy equation, we have this equation: Q net minus W net is equal to summation of Me Z is Z plus V square by 2 plus He minus summation of Mi in that Zi minus Z plus Vi square by 2 plus Hi. So if we equate the above equation, we will get M1 Z1 G plus V1 square by 2 plus H1 plus Q net is equal to M2 Z2 square by Z2 Z plus V2 square by 2 plus H2 plus W net. Okay, where Q, W and H should be in joule per kg and V in meter per second and G in meter per second square. So equating the above equation, we have M1 Z1 G by 1000 plus V1 square by 2000 plus H1 by 1000 plus Q net is equal to M2 Z2G plus V2 square by 100 plus H2 plus W net. Similarly, H, W and Q should be in kilojoule per kg, V in meter per second and G in meter per second square. So work negative tends to work positive and heat positive tends to heat negative. Our aim is to give heat to the system and gain work output from it. So heat input is equal to positive and heat output is equal to positive. Steady flow energy equation, the application can be found in nozzles and diffuser, example jet propulsion, turbines, power plant, turbofan, turbojet, aircraft engine, compressor and pump, power plant, heat exchanger like a boiler and condenser in power plant, evaporator and condenser in refrigerator, food and chemical processing. Also found in mixing chamber, power plant, throttling device, example refrigerator, steam quality measurement in power plant. All element of a simple power plant, refrigerator cycle and are mode. In principle, you can take the element together to calculate power generated, heat removal applied. So I have taken some image from Google that you have seen that you can see gas turbine. Here you can see gas turbine, heat exchanger and throttling device. So water turbine, this is the example. you can see the equation is z1z plus v1 square by 2 u1 plus p1 vs1 plus q is equal to z2g plus v2 square by 2 u2 plus v2 vs2 plus w. Okay, so the top portion is delta term z1 and bottom portion is minus z2. This is the example of water turbine. Similarly, in case of steam or gas turbine, we have z1g plus v1 square by 2 into u1 plus p1 vs1 plus q is equal to z2g plus v2 square by 2 u2 plus p2 vs2 plus w. So cancelling this equation, we finally found that z1 square by 2 plus h1 is equal to v2 square by 2 plus h2 plus w. Okay, so steam gas inlet this and steam gas outlet this. Similarly, we found the equation for steam nozzle, and finally it is v2 is equal to under root of 2 h1 minus h2. Steam in is equal to steam out. Similarly, for boiler, we found that z1g plus v1 square by 2 into u1 plus p1 vs1 plus q is equal to z2g v2 square into u2 plus p2 vs2 plus w. Cancelling all the terms on both the side, we have h1 is plus q is equal to h2, where q is equal to h1 minus h2. Then for heat exchanger, we have z1g plus v1 square into u1 plus p1 vs1 plus q is equal to z2g plus v2 square by 2 into u2 plus p2 vs2. Cancelling the both the term on both the side, we have h1 minus q is equal to h2, where q is equal to heat lost by 1 kg steam to water passing through condenser. Similarly, you can find that q is equal to hw2 minus hw1 into mw is equal to mw cw tw2 minus tw1. Q is the heat gained by water by passing through condenser. Similarly, the above equation can be calculated as h1 minus hw2 minus hw1 into mw is equal to h2. So finally, we have h1 minus h2 is equal to hw2 minus hw1 into mw is equal to mw into cw tw2 minus tw1. Similarly, for reciprocating compressor, we have control surface, air is simulating, and due to large area in contact and low flow rate, appreciable heat transfer can take place between system and the surrounding. Therefore, water cooling is required. Okay, so reciprocating compressor, we have w is equal to q plus h2 minus h1. Similarly, for rotating compressor, the control surface is there, air on that and air in that. So finally, we have the equation as w is equal to q plus h2 minus h1. For centrifugal pump also, similarly, we have v1 square by 2 plus z1z plus w is equal to v2 square by 2 z2z plus vs p2 minus p1. Okay. This is an example. A blower handle of 1 kg per second of air at 20 degrees centigrade. Find the exit air temperature assuming adiabatic condition. Take Cp for air is 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So putting that equation for adiabatic condition for blower, we have z1 cancelling both the side, we have v1 square plus h1 is equal to v2 square by a2 minus w. Putting all the value in our equation, we can find the final answer. Now, what is throttling process? A flow is throttled when, for example, it flows through a partially open valve. Okay, when it does so, we notice that there can be significant pressure loss from one side of the partially open valve to the other. Okay, so throttling process is modeled as steady device with one entrance and one exit with no control volume work or heat transfer. Change in area as well as potential energy are neglected. In throttling device, there may be change in velocity due to compressibility effect, but it is observed to be small when the flow velocity is much less than the speed of the sound. We shall assume here the velocity is small relative to the speed of sound so as to recover v1 is equal to v2, thus h1 is equal to h2. So we can say that such a throttling device is one in which pressure drops and enthalpy remains constant. Okay, so this shows that the enthalpy remains constant during adiabatic throttling process. The throttling process is commonly used in the following purpose: for determining the condition of steam, the condition of steam dryness fraction, it is denoted by X. For controlling the speed of the turbine used in refrigerator plant, liquidification of gases. Now the Joule-Thomson experiment. In this experiment, gas is forced through a porous plug and it is called throttling process. P1, Pi, Vi, Ti. This is the initial position, and between is the piston, and finally adiabatic valve we have PF, VF and TF. This is the final position. In an actual experiment, there are no piston and there is a continuous flow of gases. A pump is used to maintain the pressure difference between the two sides of the porous plug. In this experiment, as pressure is kept constant, work is done. From the definition of enthalpy, HF is equal to HI, hence it is a throttling process, enthalpy is conserved. In the Joule-Thomson experiment, in the region where the atoms or molecules are very close together, then repulsive force dominate, and as the volume expands, the energy goes down. Thus, for this condition, Pt is negative. Whereas in the region where the atom and molecule are close enough, that attractive force dominate, then as the volume expands, the energy goes up. Thus, for this condition, Pt is positive. Also, for most gases at not too large pressure, the molecule does not interact very much, and so there is little dependency of energy on volume. So Pt is very small. In that case, extreme of 0, interaction Pt is 0. This is the definite condition of an ideal perfect gas. Similarly, we can see in the Joule-Thomson or Joule-Kelvin experiment widely used in, it is used in our domestic refrigerator. The pump maintains the pressure Pi and Pf, initial and final pressure. In the experiment, Pi, Ti and Pf are set and Tf is measured. Okay. Since the final enthalpy does not change, we get point of constant enthalpy. If a throttling process is used to liquefy a gases, the cooled gas is recycled through a heat exchanger to pre-cool the gas moving towards the throttle. The gas continues to cool, and when a steady state is reached, a certain fraction Y is liquefied and a fraction 1 minus Y is returned to the pump. It should be mentioned that Joule-Thomson liquefaction of gases has 3 advantages. No moving part that would be difficult to lubricate at low temperature. The lower the temperature, the greater the temperature drop for a given purpose. With this, I come to end of this presentation. Thank you.